Okay, TikTok, we've got about 9 people. Okay, we can get started. Okay, let's get started. Okay, so question number 1, we are asked here to find x. Okay, some people will say, oh, find x. They circle this and then they say x is here. Very funny, no lah. So when they say find x here, that means they want you to find the value of x. That means the length from here to here. Okay, so we've got A 20, B 21, C 5, D is a blank. I don't know what D is. So do you all think the answer is A, B or C? A, B or C? Okay, let me know in the comments. Okay, so give you a clue lah. This one you need to use Pythagoras theorem, because Pythagoras theorem you use it for give me a minute, let me switch the thickness of the marker. Okay, Pythagoras theorem is used for determining the lengths of right angled triangles. Okay, so Pythagoras theorem, you use it when you want to determine the lengths of a right angle triangle. So let's say now in this case, we have this side 29, this side 21. We can use Pythagoras theorem to find x. Okay, so can you all work it out and tell me what you get as your answer? Okay, so Shah on TikTok says A. Okay, thank you, Shah. Guys, if you just joined, we're doing Pythagoras theorem and TOA CAH SOH. Okay, someone else has also said A, so perhaps the answer could be A. Okay, let's see what people on Instagram are saying. Any answers for those of you all joining us on Instagram? Let me check. Okay, so far no comments on Instagram yet. Okay, so let's try and see what the answer will be for this. So as I mentioned, we'll use Pythagoras theorem. Now, just a quick recap on what Pythagoras theorem is. Say you have a right angle triangle. Okay, you have a right angle triangle. You have a right angle triangle, and your right angle is over here. Okay, that's your right angle over there lah, 90 degrees. So this is what you would call the longest side. The longest side. Okay, the longest side is known as the hypotenuse. Okay, not hippopotamus, hypotenuse. Okay, so you have the hypotenuse and you have the two other sides. So let's say we call the hypotenuse side A. Okay, let me use a different color. So let's say this is A, and let's say this is B, and let's say this is C. Now, Pythagoras theorem states that A square equals to B square plus C square. Can you all see that? A square equals to B square plus C square. So let's say my B is 4 cm and my C is 3 cm. Okay, if I have B and C, I can find A. So A square will be 4 square plus 3 square. This will be A square will be 16 plus 9, because 4 square is 16 and 3 square is 9. 16 plus 9 will give me 20, 25. And A, solving for A, you square root your 25, you will get 5. So in such a scenario where your two other sides are 4 cm and 3 cm, your longest side will be 5 cm. Okay, I hope you all can see that. So this is Pythagoras theorem in a nutshell. Okay, this is how we would use Pythagoras theorem to determine a particular side. So in this case, we know that 29 square equals to 21 square plus x square. Okay, can you all see that? 29 square equals to 21 square plus x square. So always remember, the longest side is always by itself. Okay, this is the longest side. The longest side here is always by itself on one side of the equation. And the other two sides will form the other side of the equation. So you have 21 square plus x square. Now you want to find x. So you know that in algebraic equations, if you want to get rid of this 21 square, you have to minus both sides by 21 square. So this will be 29 square minus 21 square. So your x square will be, you can key this into your calculator lah. Okay, make sure you do it carefully, don't make a mistake. So 29 square minus 21 square will give me 400. And therefore x will be square root 400, and square root 400 will give me 20. Okay, so the answer is A. So those of you all who answered A, congratulations, well done. You've started off tonight's lesson getting that first question correct. So this kind of questions usually quite simple. Typically in the exam, this would be like a 1 mark question, or maybe at most a 2 mark question. Okay, so of course it can be combined with some other questions, you know, to see whether you understand your concepts of Pythagoras theorem and trigonometric ratio, which we will get into lah. Okay, so question number 1, just a quick introduction into Pythagoras theorem. So again, those of you all who got the answer as 20, well done. The answer is A, 20. Okay guys, if you're new, remember we can always help you on our Telegram group, Okay, this is the link. Okay, this is where you will get the notes, that I got for you all tonight here. Okay, there's a blank page here, so we're going to use this page here to talk a bit about trigonometric ratio. Okay, trigonometric ratio. So, say now I have a right angle triangle. Okay, I have a right angle triangle. Okay, and this is my right angle. This is my right angle over here. So let's say I call it A, B, C. A, B, C. Now, obviously you would know from the previous page I've mentioned this, that your AC is your hypotenuse. So we're going to just call it HYP for short, hypotenuse. Now, what if I wanted to find a particular angle here? So okay, let's talk about the angle first. So there can be an angle over here, we can call it theta. There can be another angle over here, we can call it alpha. So these are all Greek letters which usually we would use in mathematics to denote certain things. So this is your triangle ABC. It's a right angle triangle. Okay, it's a right angle triangle. It's got 3 angles. Okay, so right angled triangle. Angle ABC is equals to 90 degrees, as you can see. Angle BAC is equals to alpha. Angle ACB is equals to theta. And alpha plus theta will actually give you 90 degrees, right? Because we know that all the angles, all the three angles in a triangle add up to 180 degrees. Okay? Now, say I want to find a particular length. Okay? Say I want to find a particular length, and I only have one side. So okay, let's say let's call this XYZ. XYZ, let's say I only have one side. Let's say I'm told that this side here is 5 cm. Okay, and I'm asked to find the hypotenuse. Okay, I'm asked to find the hypotenuse. I know that this is a right angle. Now, if I do not have anything else, I cannot find the hypotenuse. Okay, if the only thing I have is YZ equals to 5 cm, then I can't find the hypotenuse. But if supposedly they give you XY, okay, let's say they tell you that XY is 3 cm. Okay, then to find XZ now, you just need to use your Pythagoras theorem. But what if, okay, what if they don't give you XY? What if instead they gave you an angle? Let's say they tell you this angle over here is 40 degrees. Okay, 40 degrees. Now, what you can do is you can actually use the angle and the side YZ to find XZ. What you need to use is this thing called TOA CAH SOH. Now, what is TOA CAH SOH? TOA CAH SOH, this is referring to TOA CAH SOH. Basically, it's a set of acronyms. You all know what acronyms are. Letters that stand for something. So, the TOA here stands for tangent angle equals to opposite over adjacent. Okay, opposite over adjacent. What is opposite and adjacent? I will discuss shortly. Yeah. CAH here is cosine angle. Adjacent, ADJ is adjacent over hypotenuse. So we've talked about hypotenuse previously. Yeah, hypotenuse is the longest side, and SOH is sine angle. Sine angle here is opposite over hypotenuse. So in every triangle, you've got three sides. You've got the hypotenuse, which is the longest side, and then the other two sides are your opposite and your adjacent side. Now, what is the opposite side and what is the adjacent side? All this depends on your angle. So, for angle YXZ, okay, for angle YXZ, this one over here, where is the opposite side? This will be the opposite side. Can see, yeah? So this is the angle. This will be the opposite side. Where will be the adjacent side? For this angle, this will be the adjacent side. However, if I were to take another angle, okay, so you know that that's going to be 40 degrees. This is going to be 50 degrees. If I were to take this angle instead, I use a different color. If I were to take this angle instead, this will be my adjacent side. Okay, adjacent means next to. Adjacent means next to. And this will be my opposite side. So, your opposite and adjacent side, in a nutshell, your opposite and adjacent side, it's determined by your angle, which angle you're looking at, with respect to which angle. So if, example, let's say now I want to find XZ. Okay, XZ is my hypotenuse side. So I will not use tangent. Because in the trigonometric ratio for tangent, you do not find hypotenuse. So you cannot find hypotenuse using tangent. I will use either cosine or sine. So let's say now I decide I'm going to use the 40 degrees, which means that my YZ will be my opposite side, in which case I will use sine. So I will have sine 40 degrees equals to opposite. So opposite here is YZ over hypotenuse, which is XZ. Okay, so you can see here that this is the ratio we are talking about here. Okay, the fraction. The fraction, one length over another length. One side of the triangle over another side of the triangle. Okay, so where do I get this sine 40 from? This one you have to key into your calculator. Okay, so you get your calculator ready. You make sure that your calculator is in degree mode. Okay, because some calculators they might not start off with being in degree mode. The default might not be degree mode. It might be radian mode. It might be some other mode. So make sure your calculator is set to degree mode. And then you go and find sine 40. So sine 40 will give you this decimal 0.7451116. Okay, you don't have to write that down. Okay, what's important here is you substitute in the values that you have. And what value do I have? I have 5 cm. So sine 40 degrees equals to 5 over xz. And again, I'm trying to find xz. So I can move xz here. I can move the sine 40 degrees below. And now I can just key in 5 divided by sine 40, which will give me 6.71 cm. To 2 decimal place or 3 significant figures. See, so without having both sides of the triangle, okay, without having both sides of the triangle, just by having one side of the triangle here, but having one of the angles here, I am able to find the longest side here. And you can use this with any other triangle, any other permutation, but you have to make a choice whether you're going to be using tangent, cosine, or sine. Okay, so later when we go through some examples, you will see what I mean. Okay, so this is Pythagoras Theorem and trigonometric ratio in a nutshell. 20 minutes. 20 minutes since we started this lesson. I've tried my best to explain to you all what Pythagoras Theorem and TOA CAH SOH is. If you still can't get it, no worries. Okay, stick around. We've got another 40 minutes. We're going to delve deeper into some questions related to these two topics. Okay? Okay, so previously we were trying to find the length of one side of the triangle. Now we have two lengths, two sides of the triangle. Okay, we have 4 cm and this one we got 8 cm. But what are we trying to find? We're trying to find angle theta. Okay, we're trying to find angle theta. So, guys, degree Celsius. Okay, degree Celsius is for temperature. So I hope none of you all choose D as the answer. Guys, A, B, C or D? Can you all give me some answers? You all think the answer is A, B, C or D? Come on, you have to use your TOA CAH SOH to solve this. Okay, someone is saying that it's 45 degrees. Okay. Let's see, let's see what the answer is. Okay, give you all another 1 minute. So this kind of questions very basic lah, very basic. Oh, eventually you should be able to solve it. Okay guys, let's delve right into it. Let's not waste any more time lah. Okay, now in this question, they tell you that this is 4 cm, this is 8 cm. Now obviously you know that if you use Pythagoras theorem, you can find the length of the base of the triangle. You can find this length. But you're not asked to find this length. You are asked to find this angle. So to find angle, we don't use Pythagoras theorem. We don't use Pythagoras theorem. We use our trigonometric ratio. But the question here is, which trigonometric function do we use? Okay, so your tangent, sine and cosine, they are trigonometric functions. Which one do we use? Okay, so we know that 8 cm is our hypotenuse, HYP, What about our 4 cm? Our 4 cm here is our opposite side, OPP. Why opposite? Because you can see the angle is over there, it's all the way back here. So this is the opposite side, this would have been the adjacent side. But we're not looking to find this length. We're looking to find this angle. So to find this angle, we need to use hypotenuse and our opposite side. So if you remember, TOA CAH SOH, SOH. So this will be sine. So we put sine theta. Okay, remember sine, the angle, equals to the fraction. So what is the fraction? Is it going to be 4 over 8 or 8 over 4? So right? So SOH. So there. So O comes first, then H. So opposite side over my hypotenuse side. So the opposite side is 4 cm. The hypotenuse is 8 cm. Which means my sine theta is now half. Now the question is, okay, sine theta equals to half, so what? How do I go about finding theta? Okay, how you find theta is you need to use your calculator and you need to use this thing called sine inverse. Sine inverse. So you bring your sine over to the other side. But when you bring your sine over to the other side, there will be a minus 1 on top there. Okay, so on your calculator, you can press your shift or your second function. You will see above the sine, there should be this sine inverse. Okay, so sine inverse 0.5. Mode, where's my mode? Degree mode. Make sure you are in degree mode. I was not in degree mode. Okay, so sine inverse 0.5 will give me 30. So the answer is 30 degrees. C, C, not A, Someone said A just now. 45 degrees. It's not A. The answer is 30 degrees. Why? Because opposite side and hypotenuse. Okay, so sine, we use sine because sine, it deals with opposite and hypotenuse. Then we substitute in, and then very important, we need to use this thing called sine inverse, which is available on your calculator. Okay, let's just see how people are doing on TikTok. Any questions for me on TikTok? You in radian mode? I think just now I was on radian mode. But now I'm back on I'm back on degree mode. Flip the triangle to form equilateral triangle. Wow, so chim. Okay, someone is suggesting that we flip the triangle to form an equilateral triangle. How to flip? Oh, that means what? You make another. You mirror the triangle. Oh, I see. Wow, very smart, Yeah lah. So okay, somebody was suggesting, actually, you think about it, if you, okay, let me take out my ruler lah, so that I don't. Okay, but of course this is not how you are expected to solve lah, but it's a very creative way to solve. Okay, so this thing here is how many cm? Okay, let's see. Alamak, why my ruler become like that? Okay, so this is 1 to 4.5 cm. Okay, so let's say I put another 4.5 cm here. So if let's say I draw like that, okay lah, never lah, something like that lah. So if let's say you copy the triangle down, you make a mirror, okay, you reflect the triangle, and then this one also 4 cm, then this one will be 8 cm, this one 8 cm, this one will also be 8 cm, because it's a mirror. It's a mirror. So on top 8 cm, below also 8 cm. So that will mean, because it's an equilateral triangle, this will be 60 degrees, right? Because you know, for an equilateral triangle, all the angles inside are the same, 60, 60, 60. So if the whole thing is 60, one will be 30 lah. Okay, thank you. I'm also learning something from you all lah. Fantastic. Okay, but the method that I'm teaching you all today is use the TOA CAH SOH method lah. TOA CAH SOH, here we are using sine. Okay? Maths is very satisfying. Okay, guys, question number 3, guys. Now they give you one angle and one side. They give you one angle, they give you one side. They want you to find this other side. So is it 8 cm? Is it 5 cm? I don't think it's 5 cm, because it's the longest side. Is it 10 cm? Or is it D? I don't know. Okay, can you give me your answers? What do you all think? Okay, some people are saying C lah. I think quite obvious lah. But okay, let's try. D cause my brain juice finish already. Alamak, then you must go and drink more brain juice or pour some more brain juice into your brain. Okay. Question number 3. So we got 5 cm. We got A. Okay, what I like to do sometimes I just like to complete the puzzle so complete the puzzle means what? This one I will just put 30 degrees, because I know this is 90, this is 60, so this must be 30 degrees. Even though they don't ask lah, I just put it there. Okay? Okay, now you want to find A. You want to find A. So you can use this angle here, 60 degrees. This, with respect to this angle this is your adjacent side. So you can label adjacent. Alamak, but this is also D, this is also A so maybe don't just write A lah, write ADJ ADJ, adjacent. The A here will be HYP, hypotenuse. So we got adjacent, we got hypotenuse. What are we going to use? We are going to use our friend Mr. CAH, CAH. Okay, because this A here is adjacent, this H here is hypotenuse. Can see I hope you can see lah. So cosine 60 degrees equals to 5 over A. We need to solve for A. So how to solve for A? So this is where step number 1, you multiply A on both sides. So when you multiply A on both sides, here you multiply A, here also you must multiply A. So it will be A cosine 60 degrees equals to 5. Okay, and then I want to just find my A. I don't want A cosine 60. So I must isolate my A. So now I divide both sides by cosine 60. So this will give me A equals to 5 cosine 60 degrees. Okay, so now take out your calculator. You take 5 divide by cosine 60. And that will give me 10 cm lah. Don't forget your units ah. If you are doing this in your exam, that means this is not MCQ so MCQ, not MCQ, open-ended, all this, remember, very important, must include your units. Don't just put the number 10. Okay, make sure you put 10 cm. Simple, right? Okay, so okay lah. So now we know that this is 10 cm. Okay, let's make this a bit more challenging lah. To everybody at home, can you all tell me what this side will be? What is my this side going to be? Okay, I let you decide lah how you want to find. Okay, tell me the answer inside the comments. Okay, still at question 3 we are expanding question 3. Okay, we are expanding question 3. Let's see if you all can figure out what the length of the base of the triangle is. Any answers? Those people on Instagram, what is this what's my base going to be? Someone has given an answer lah, 8.66 cm. Thank you. Kinda lost. Okay. Have you studied trigonometric ratios in school? Muhammad Anis, you say it's 8 cm. Okay, so you can use either Pythagoras Theorem or you can use your trigonometric ratio to find this. Okay, so let me show you all both lah. So if you use your Pythagoras Theorem, that means you say that 10 square equals to 5 square plus, okay, let's call this B lah. Let's call this B. B square. So we're trying to solve for B. For B. So if I want to find my B square, I need to take 10 square minus 5 square. Okay, so 10 square minus 5 square, 10 square is 100, 5 square is 25. This will be 75. So B is going to be square root 75, and square root 75 gives me 8.66 cm. So this is using Pythagoras Theorem. This one I use Pythagoras Theorem. Let me just highlight it for you. Okay, this is using Pythagoras Theorem. Okay, now what if I don't want to use Pythagoras Theorem? Hold on guys. What if instead of using Pythagoras Theorem, I want to use my trigonometric ratio? Okay, my TOA CAH SOH. Also can. Okay, also can. So let's say now I have hypotenuse. I want to find the opposite side. Okay, this B is the opposite side. Opposite side with respect to what? With respect to the 60 degrees. With respect to the 60 degrees. So hypotenuse and opposite, we are going to use sine, because sine is SOH, so we have sine 60 degrees equals to opposite over hypotenuse. The opposite side is B, the hypotenuse side is 10. We have found that is 10, right? So B is 10 times sine 60 degrees. Okay, so take out your calculator, make sure it is in degree mode. 10 times sin 60 will also give me 8.66 cm. Okay, so whether you use Pythagoras theorem or you use trigonometric ratio, you will get the same answer lah. So in the exam, do they penalize you for the kind of method that you use or the type of method that you use? No, of course not. You want to use Pythagoras theorem, can. You want to use your trigonometric ratio, also can. You got another method that your brain can think up that nobody else can think up, but your method is valid, is logical, also can. Okay? So I hope you all have understood lah what I'm trying to do here. Okay, question 3 But of course, the initial question they were asking for this fella here. This one, it's just that I added on to the question and I say, what if you need to find this? What if you need to find the other side? So I mentioned that there are two methods lah. Can use Pythagoras theorem or can use trigonometric ratio. Okay, question number 4. Question number 4. So here they want you to find x, and here we have one right angle triangle here. We also have another right angle triangle over here. Can see? So there's a bigger one and there's a smaller one inside. Okay, this one now meters, not centimeters. So this one is 200 meters. So what will this be? Okay guys, so I give you 2 minutes. Try this out on your own, and then later I will go through the working lah. Okay. Wow, I just realized that our new Prime Minister is being sworn in right now as we speak, or as I'm doing this live stream. Wow, so a bit hard. Need to fight with him for views. So maybe that's why today. Okay lah, I got about 8 people on Instagram now. And then let's see, TikTok I think just now I saw like about 15 people. 15 people in my TikTok. Okay, now it's 13 people. Okay, someone is saying, can I use sine rule or cosine rule? Okay, so the sine rule, cosine rule we use for triangles which are not right angle triangles. So to answer your question, yes, you can also use the sine rule or the cosine rule. But I generally think that as much as I can avoid to use those rules, I will. Because in this case, yeah, even though you can say, oh, this triangle is not a right angle triangle. This triangle here is not a right angle triangle. However, sorry. Hey, come on. Okay. However, even though it's not a right angle triangle, you can find it by using the right angle triangle here and the right angle triangle here. Okay? So to me, I will still use my TOA CAH SOH lah. $11, $12. Okay. Let's move on. So, in this question here, what I will do is, I will go and find the length from here to here. Okay, step number 1. Okay, I will find the length from here to here. How do I do that? Okay, I know that this is 35 degrees. I know that this is 200 meters. I know that this is my opposite side. This is opposite, OPP. Why? Because 35 degrees, this one opposite, OPP. So I know this is my adjacent side. The whole thing is my adjacent side. So okay, maybe I label the triangle lah. You can do this in the exam also, no problem. A, B, C, D. Okay, so we want to find BD here. Okay, so we are going to use opposite. We have opposite, we have adjacent. We're going to use tangent. Tangent 35 degrees. So tangent 35 degrees equals to TOA, right? Opposite over adjacent. So opposite here is AB. Adjacent here is BD. Again, we are talking about the bigger triangle, guys. The bigger right angle triangle. So we know that AB is 200 meters. Therefore, BD will actually be 200 over tangent 35 degrees. Now, I will not key this into my calculator just yet. That's my stand. I will not key into the calculator just yet. Why? Number one, it takes up time. It takes up time. Time is very precious in the exam. Number two, I don't want to be like stuck with a number with a lot of decimal places. Okay? So I will just leave it like this first. I will just leave it like this first. What will I do next? I will go and find my BC. I will go and find my BC. Why? Because when I have my BD minus my BC, then I can get my X. Okay? So I will go and try and solve BC. So BC, same thing. I will use tangent. But now it will be tangent 48 degrees. Okay? Tangent 48. So tangent 48, again, this is my angle. This is my opposite side. This is my adjacent side that I'm interested in now, BC. So tangent 48 will be AB over BC. So BC will be 200 over tangent 48 degrees. Okay, very clear. So I find BD. After I find BD, I go and find BC. Now, to find X, I simply need to take BD minus BC. So X equals to BD minus BC. Guys, again you can see when I do the working, it's very systematic. Some of you all, the problem is you quickly want to get the answer, but your working is not systematic. So in the exam, these kind of things will work against you. Make sure that your working is systematic step by step. So BD minus BC, BD is 200 over tangent 35 degrees. BC is 200 over tangent 48 degrees. Now take out your calculator. Can key in already. 200 tangent 35. Did I set it to the right mode? Make sure it's set to degree mode. Minus 200 tangent over tangent 48. Okay, so my answer will be 105. Sorry. 105.5, which is 106 lah. Three significant figures, right? Three significant figures. So final answer 106 meters. Okay, so those of you all who got it correct, well done to you. Maybe some of you all have had a different way of solving. Okay, no problem. If you manage to get the answer, it's okay lah. Whether you want to use sine rule, cosine rule, or you want to use your trigonometric ratio, or you want to use Pythagoras Theorem. I mean, I don't know how you would use Pythagoras Theorem for this. Okay, but as I say, as long as your method is reasonable, logical, rational, no problem. Okay, we are not out to penalize you. Okay, let's check out some comments. Bob says my skibidi. What is my skibidi? Okay. Okay, thank you to all of you all joining me on Instagram and on TikTok. Please like and share my video, guys. Like and share my video. Okay. Today we are doing Pythagoras Theorem and TOA CAH SOH, trigonometric ratio. Okay, why ratio? Because you will have something over something. Something over something. So something over something, that's a ratio. It's a fraction, it's also called a ratio. Anis, the answer is 106, but it's not 106 cm, it's 106 meters. Okay, because AB is 200 meters. So be very careful, Anis. It's 106 meters. You in the exam you write 106 cm, the examiner will say to you, very sorry, cannot give you the marks. Even though your 106 is correct. Okay, guys. Okay, let's move on lah. We are about 10 minutes away from the end already. Finish already ah? Wah, okay lah. Then what can I do for the next 10 minutes? Y'all, anybody with any request, any particular question or topic you want me to go through? Anybody? Maybe write down in the comments. Repeat last sentence. Okay, so last sentence was, instead of using if your answer is 106 cm and not 106 meters, if you got the units wrong, then I'm very sorry to tell you that you will not get the marks. Maps and scale. Wow. Someone is asking me whether can do maps and scale. Okay, maps and scale. Any other requests? Can you explain more for this question? Okay, sure. I think I'll do that again lah. Okay, so instead of going into a new topic, maybe we got 10 minutes left, right? I just explain to you all again. Okay. Say now I have a triangle. Okay, I have a triangle, and my triangle is a right angle triangle. Okay, it's a right angle triangle. So for a triangle, we got 3 angles in total. Okay, so let's say I call this A, I call this B. I call this A, I call this B. Say now you have this side, you say this side is 7 cm. Okay, and then maybe this side is 5 cm. Okay, so this is scenario 1. Scenario 1. You are given 2 sides, need to find angle. Okay, you are given 2 sides, you need to find angle. Okay, how do we do this? Okay, very simple. Very simple. You look at the angle that you want. Okay, so example, let's say I want to find angle A. Now, if I want to find angle A, this side becomes my opposite side. Okay, so I write there, opposite with respect to WRT, WRT with respect to angle A. Okay. Now, the 7 cm is my hypotenuse. Whether I'm talking about angle A or angle B, it will always be my hypotenuse. No change. Okay. So let's say now I want to find angle A. So I have opposite, I have hypotenuse. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, do I use sine, cosine or tangent? Who can tell me? Share me in the comments. I want to find angle A. Do I use sine, cosine or tangent? Let's see if you all are paying attention. Okay, somebody say sine. Very good. Anybody with any other answers? Anybody else? Okay, so sine, sine. So we know lah, we need to use sine. So we use sine. And then this sine, you cannot just write like that. It's a function. You must write an angle next to it. So what angle are we talking about here? Angle A. Okay, sine A. So sine together with the angle that we want to find, which is A. Now, sine is so. Over here is so, SOH. This S here stands for sine. This O here is opposite. This H here is hypotenuse. So, the ratio is going to look like this. Okay, sine A opposite over hypotenuse. What is the opposite side? 5 cm. What is the hypotenuse side? 7 cm. So now we substitute inside. Okay, so again, this is scenario 1. You are given two sides. You need to find angle. Need to find the unknown angle. So you come up to here. Then you ask yourself, how to find A now? You need to use the inverse function in your calculator. Okay, so take out your calculator. You will see very clearly on your calculator there is a sine, cosine, tangent. But on top of the button for sine, there should be in yellow or whatever coloring your calculator uses, sine inverse, which means you need to press shift and then sine, or second function then sine. You must know how to use your calculator lah. That one I cannot teach you here lah. That one you must know how to use your calculator. Okay. So sine inverse 5 divided by 7, you will get the answer 45.6 degrees. 45.6 degrees. Okay. So this is scenario 1. You are given two sides. You need to find angle. I hope you all can understand this. Okay, let's go on to scenario 2. Scenario 2, given one side plus one angle, need to find unknown side. Okay, you are given one side, one angle. You need to find the unknown side. So how? Okay, example. I have a triangle over here. Again, it has to be a right angle triangle. This entire topic we are talking about right angle triangles. So let's say now I know that this is 4 cm. And I know that this is 35 degrees. Then I'm asked to find A. So now you need to ask yourself, are you going to use sine, cosine or tangent? Okay, so you look at angle 35 degrees. This is the opposite side. Okay, so I label there opposite with respect to 35 degree angle. Okay, because this angle here, this is the opposite side, this is the adjacent side. So always remember, when we talk about right angle triangles, there are three sides. There's the hypotenuse, which is the longer side. There's the opposite and the adjacent. Opposite, adjacent, it depends on what angle you're talking about. If you're talking about this angle, this is the opposite side. If you're talking about this angle over here, this will be the opposite side. So be very clear. This is the opposite side. For this same angle, this will be the adjacent side. Okay guys? So now, we want to find side A. So we got the hypotenuse, we got the opposite side, we can use sine. So sine 35 degrees. Remember, next to the trigonometric function, the sine, cosine or the tangent, you must have the angle there. If the angle is an unknown, then you just put sine x or sine theta or sine alpha or sine A or sine B or sine C, if the angle is unknown. But in this case, the angle is not unknown, the angle is given to you. You need to find the side. So sine 35 degrees equals to opposite over hypotenuse, right? So opposite here is 4, hypotenuse here is A. we're gonna find out A. How to find the A? So A bring up, sine 35 bring down. So in this case, you don't use inverse. In this case, don't use inverse. Okay. So here we will take 4 divide by sine 35. We get 6.97. 6.97 cm. Okay, so my A is 6.97 cm. Alright guys, so I've given you all 2 scenarios which covers most of the questions. Okay, scenario 1, given 2 sides, need to find angle. This one you need to use inverse. So I'll write there. Need to use inverse. Need to use inverse. Okay. Scenario 1 is like this. Scenario 2 is like this. You don't use inverse for scenario 2. For both the scenarios, remember your angle, your calculator, the mode must be in degree mode. Okay guys, so that's all for today. We have completed Pythagoras Theorem and TOA CAH SOH. I hope this 1 hour has been useful for you. Follow us on MasterMaths, join our Telegram group. Continue to study hard. The June holidays are just around the corner. They will, you will feel like, I don't need to study lah. Relax better. But remember, the harder you work, the better prepared you will be when you enter the exam hall, or when you sit for your O-levels this year, or your end of year exams. So all the best to all of y'all. Hope to see y'all again next week. Same time, same channel. This is Coach Nawaz signing off. Goodbye.